Hello, Reformers, and welcome to a special feature of Phantasy Calradia. Now, without further ado, we will be starting a new game and seeing what this mod has in store for us. Oh yes, now I must just mention that there is a download link for this mod in the description, so by all means, if you enjoy what you see here, then try it out for yourselves, and have a good old time right there, yes. Okay, so it says, welcome adventurer to the fantasy mod. Please answer the following questions in order to create your main character. Okay, well, this is simple enough. We will be a male, and then we can choose between, wow, quite a few different races right here. So we have human, elf, drow, dwarf, orc, and gnomish. Okay, well, I think, considering I have not had much experience with drow or drow, we will be selecting them, even though I am pretty terrible with actually pronouncing it. Wonderful. Okay, so now, seeing as I either like to choose thief or impoverished noble, I will be selecting between those two. I think impoverished noble for this, and again, we will probably go for the highest option there. And now, this is different. Oh, yes. Wow, this is actually very cool. Okay, then as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became a mage apprentice, a rogue, a bard, a cleric, a paladin, a fighter, a ranger, a necromancer, or a barbarian. Well, I think necromancer actually sounds quite dark and fiendish, so I think we might go for that. I'm not entirely sure what it does to our stats or anything, but why not? We may as well. And let's actually go for something different here, because usually what I do is choose personal revenge, because that is +2 to strength, I believe. So let's go for lust for money and power. Why not? A necromancer seems to actually be quite suited to that. So I think now what we will be selecting is probably mounted, although on foot might be quite cool, because if we are going to be playing a necromancer, we want to cast our spells on foot, I suppose. So let's go for on foot, why not? Okay, so seeing as we chose noble, we do get our choice of banners already, which is rather nice, so that we can actually see the selection, whether they are native selections. I think they probably are. Yes, there is the famed King Barney bear right there, which is rather nice. Okay, so seeing as we are potentially going to be playing a necromancer, I think we should look for something rather dark. Maybe this would help us out quite a bit, although it's not too mythical. Maybe this is a little bit better? Not too sure. Okay, well that's page 1 again. Okay, so okay, it's between those, I think. So let's go back there and see what we can do. The scorpion might be quite nice. No, I think we'll go with that. Why not? Okay, so allow me to quit without saving, and we will be calling our character Reformist, because this is a special feature, and we may as well. Okay, so as you can see by the stats page right here, we have a huge amount of additional skills. So we have, wow, necromancy, creativity, magic defense, magic power, and is there anything else? Stealth. We have stealth here as well. Ooh, this is looking very, very cool. Okay, well, seeing as we're going to be a necromancer, I may as well be leveling my intelligence a little more. Let's get strength to 6, just in case. And 1 more intelligence, why not? So let's get as much as we can in necromancy. Creativity, what does this do? With this, Baron Burt can build and tinker new items. Okay, I'm not entirely sure who that is, so I will not be increasing that just yet, but maybe at a later time? I'm not too sure, but we are going to be increasing our magic power. That is definitely going to come in handy. Now, we do have faith as well. This is a new skill by the looks of things. This skill represents a character's devotion to a particular deity, vital for clerics. Aha, I see. Okay, so seeing as we would like to take some prisoners, we may as well get some prisoner management. And pathfinding is always a good skill to have, so let's get 3 in that. Let's get some in Iron Flesh so we make sure we don't die immediately. That's always a good idea. And I don't think stealth is going to help us too much as a necromancer, so I think we will probably just try out creativity. Who knows? We may actually require it. So let's just actually see here. We apparently are very good with polearms, so let's go for some one-handed, go for some polearms, and go for some crossbows. So that will help us out quite a bit, hopefully, against this bandit that we may indeed be fighting. And oh my goodness, of course we are the drow race, or the drow race, and that shows. Okay, so I will be randomizing our appearance a little, and hopefully once I have found an adequate face, I will be cutting back. Okay, so with a fair amount of randomizing and tinkering, I think we have found our reformist for this particular special feature. So we will be continuing onward, and we will then see where we want to actually start. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I haven't actually given this any thought. Yes, I've thought about everything else, but apparently not about this. So let's just see here. We've started in Swadia. We've started in the Vaegirs Kingdom, I believe. We've started in the Kurjik Khanate. We haven't actually started in the Nords or the Saranid Sultanate. I think the Saranids might actually be a wonderful thing to choose in this particular case. So, we are going to be going for them. Why not? Okay. So, you came with a caravan crossing the great desert to the east of Calradia. The Bedouin guides chose your route carefully, leapfrogging through treacherous dune fields and across empty gravel plains to low-lying oases, rich with orchards and date palms. It was a great relief when the mountains came into view, and on the evening of the following day, you crested a rocky pass and in the distance could make out the sea and the towers of Shariz silhouetted against the sunset. Wonderful. Okay, and now we are attacked by a bandit, and oh my goodness. Okay, this has just gotten better, even though it was already very nice. We have some shadows with us, and they have unique sound effects. Wow. Okay, so as you can see, they have red eyes, and they seem to be slightly incorporeal, and that is very creepy indeed. Those noises are incredibly creepy. Well, okay, that's fine with... Oh, hello. Okay, that's fine with me. Sure, why not? Oh, wow. This is very nice. Okay, cool. So, let us talk to the merchant, as we usually do, and we will be getting 100 dinars for us to collect 5 men, even though I think we probably already have 5 men. Yes, we do. We have 5 shadows with us. Ah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so from what we can tell by the map, it is incredibly spread out, and there is a wizard tower. And apparently it is owned by the Ridus Magocracy. Okay, yes, please do forgive my pronunciation. I have not checked out the world map in this before, so this is all new to me as well. Wow, this is rather amazing. As you can see, it seems there are actually unique neutral factions, perhaps, that do pose a threat in this world. And there I was thinking that we would actually have a pretty simple time in the Saranids' lands. Okay, so I suppose we will head to Hawaha and see whether we can recruit a couple of volunteers. Of course, it would be quite nice to test out these shadows in real battlefield combat. And I suppose we'll just pick up some Saranid recruits, why not? So, I saw some looters go off in this direction, so I think it might actually be a wonderful idea if we could track them down and potentially take them out. Now, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't believe we have any spells at the moment. Do we? I don't know. It would be wonderful if we knew, but I don't think we do, to be honest. I think it's rather similar to another mod that I played that had a similar system, although not with this much depth, I don't think. So, oh, there we are, looters. Some 8 looters right there. So let us take them down, why not? I want to see how well my shadows do. Now, there is actually a blue bar in the bottom right there. I believe that is my mana bar, or mana bar, and I will be, hopefully, being able to use that once I have found some spells. So, yes, let's just line up very fast and make sure that we are actually going to be okay here. So, let's do it. I wanted to try and distract most of my enemies away from my shadows, because I do not want to actually lose any of these shadows, because I'm not entirely sure whether we can actually get more of them once they have been taken down. Of course, not entirely sure of their stats either, so I think that will be something that we definitely want to check out in just a moment. So you actually need a lot of strength to be able to use these falchions here, so unfortunately it doesn't seem as though I will be using those anytime soon. But it's always nice to have them to sell anyway. And let's actually just take a look here. Shadows can actually level up into other shadow warriors. Oh my. Okay, so tell me about yourself. Oh wow. Okay, this is actually very cool. Very cool indeed. Look at that. 150 weapon proficiencies, and they're only level 15, so they can only get incredibly good from here. Not bad at all, if I do say so myself. So I suppose, considering we are right next to Rushdig, and you raise one skeleton from the remains of your enemies. Really? Wow, that's cool. So we have a skeleton on our team now. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though the skeleton can level up, but it is a free unit, and I'm not entirely sure why we have to pay it 5 dinars, but apparently skeletons enjoy a good time at the taverns as well as any man, so why not? Okay, so, oh, who is that? That might be a neutral party that is aggressive. I don't think it is aggressive, because the background of the little box here, I suppose, is of neutral color, so I don't think they are going to be too aggressive, but that is rather interesting, isn't it? That unique model on the world map, why not? And we do have 5 men, so we will be going to speak to the merchant. And, oh my, the Bleeding Throat clan has not responded to the Order of the Blazing Hands provocations, and Great Warlord Crothu suffers a loss of face among his more bellicose subjects. Oh my. Well, yes, that's actually not very pleasing to him, I suppose. And, oh, you can actually buy a ship here. That's actually pretty cool. So I will be heading into the marketplace. Look at this. Create several bolts of pure magic. The higher the skill, the higher the quantity. Wow. Okay, are there any cheap spells that I can buy, maybe? Conjures a shield of magical energy. No, apparently not. So we will be selling most of these. There we are, small profit. We don't really need too much money, considering we started as a noble. So that's fine. There we are. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Maybe I can find a better spell here. And, wow, look at this. A magical dagger that returns to the thrower. Now that is impressive. Oh yes, some very unique ideas being thrown around here. I am wholeheartedly approving of this. Wow, okay, that's good. And we have some additional armor here. Nothing too unique as yet, of course. I may have not found something yet that could actually be that unique. So we will be checking a couple of other towns if we can, and there is a Mercenary Mage! There's Ymira as well, which we will most likely be talking to and hopefully being able to recruit to our cause, because she does have a rather considerable surgery skill, I hope, at least. There we are. A good question. Oh yes, we know her story, I believe. There we are. Okay. That's a start. We can teach you the rest. Oh yes, thank you very much. And that is a free companion joining us right there. Mercenary Mage. I would really like to get them. They are only 320 dinars. We do have them cash to spare, so why not? And I will hunt for bandits. Okay, great. That was a very successful trip indeed. And let's just take a look at the Mercenary Mages right here. Oh yes, level 14. Of course, they do have an incredible amount of intelligence, but not too much in the way of weapon proficiencies, of course. So that is fine. And they have 6 in magic power. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, well, I am very pleased with finding Ymira so soon, and I suppose now we will head on and take out these bands of robbers. Oh yes. There we are. I brought steel and I brought magic as well, apparently. So, yes, let's do it. Okay, so we have some Mercenary Mages with some fire in their hands. That is very impressive. And we have a skeleton, who I will be naming Bob for this particular special feature. So let us hope that Bob stays alive and potentially gains a couple of other companions to go along with him. Maybe we can find a Greg, who would hopefully be his friend. That would be wonderful. So let's hope from this particular band of robbers we can gain a Greg. That would be wonderful. And, oh, there's a script warning, but I think that will not really make too much difference, as my mercenary mages are throwing fireballs at our enemies. Okay. Well, I think you can tell from my silence there that I am awestruck, I suppose you could say. Wow. That was very impressive and very powerful. Wow. Okay. I don't really know what to say to that, but that's very fun. Very fun indeed. Okay. Well, there we are. We know where the bandit lair is, and I'm not entirely sure whether these guys are going to be very pleased to see us, considering my mercenary mages seem to be very strong indeed. Oh, wow. And we do have a Greg that has joined us, so we do have 2 skeletons now. Bob and Greg, they will be best of friends from now on. Oh, yes. Okay, so what I will be doing now is, considering we are about to enter the kidnapper's hideout, and a wild orc raiding party has been spotted as well, I will be ending this episode off here. This is part 1 of the special feature for Phantasy Calradia, and I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.